Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, traders from across the globe, and welcome to the 1883rd edition of Short-Term Trading Live with Oscar. Good day, traders. This video is coming at you at about 2:40 in the afternoon on Tuesday, Jan 22nd, 2019. There's been quite a development that has taken place on the daily ES, Nasdaq, Russell, Dow, and Transportation Average charts. And I thought I'd share that with you nice and early so we can prepare for Tuesday evening into Wednesday's trading. Please remember that trading of futures, stocks, ETFs, you name it, is extremely risky these days. Volatility is through the roof. It flips up 500 and down 500 every other day lately, the Dow. So please put your stops in first. Know the risk behind this game. Do not trade without money you can absolutely afford to lose. And join me in my free live trading sessions. It's a live chat room that you're in now, half of you. Join me at livewithoscar.com, and I'll see if I can help you get through these crazy markets. So let's begin the live technical analysis class. And here we are. The market, as you know, has had this caution area. Now, in reality, the caution area basically starts at about the bottom of this level and goes right up to here. And if you really wanted to push it, it goes right to here. So why would that be the caution level that we've been talking about for such a long time? Because if you remove this out of the way and look at this simply, when the market broke, it broke from here. When it came back up, it's got to get above that area. It's that simple, and it did not. We now have a bit of a problem here. The caution area was tagged and it stopped. In fact, it didn't even get high enough to reach the top of the caution area. That would literally put it up here. So we stopped right at the meat of the caution area. We are now starting to float back below the 50-bar moving average, and that's in your emini S&P. Now remember, this all started with the death cross, and if you've been watching my videos, this was the right shoulder of a massive head and shoulders. So that started. Then we had the death cross. The 50 and the 200-bar moving averages crossed one another. Then we dumped right to an exact projection that OMNI gave us. I mean exact. 2315, 2316. The projection was 2315. We hit 2316 and a quarter and bounced. But we only bounced back to the caution area and we have stopped cold. That, makes me wonder if the caution area is now doing its job. And I will say, if the caution area does make the market fail like it looks like it's doing today, then the head and shoulders comes back into play, and I start looking back at those secondary projections I had given us after we bounced off that low. So that is very interesting. If you ask me, technically we should have blown right through this area and at least hit the 200 to test that. We seem to be failing now inside of this area. So that, if you ask me, is a little bit nerve-wracking. Now we're going to move to another chart. Dow Jones Industrial Average. Look at this one. It failed miserably. Didn't even hit the top of that area. Got near the 200-bar moving average. Failed miserably and is now getting back below the 50. So this caution area is absolutely giving us reason to caution. Now, we've got this. Look at the line that starts here. You go back and hit that line and drop. You hit it again, drop massively. And this time, so far, we didn't even get to the line. We failed inside the caution area. So that's your Dow Jones Industrial Average. And traders, if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to the videos and then come join us at livewithoscar.com in my live trading room. Everyone else, you're already here watching. And let's move to another chart. Dow Jones Transportation Average. So with this one, really bad if you ask me. Really bad, because this one went right to the height of the meat of the breakdown area. Right there. This one went right to that spot. Turned around, right back down under the 50 as if it didn't matter. That was fast It was perfect, and it makes me wonder, are we now going to consider that the Head and Shoulders is larger than the first drop, which gave us all the way down to here, the first projection? Is it larger than that, and will we start heading for projection number 2 and 3? So now we've got to keep our eyes open. We absolutely have reason for caution. This is a bad, bad, bad development in the transportation average, in my opinion. But there's more. Nasdaq. Look at this one. Up here. It hits again up here, the red line. So follow the market. It creates the line. The line starts here. Shows us resistance again. Comes off the right shoulder of the Head and Shoulders. I don't have defined, but here's the right shoulder. Dumps. Comes back up and stops cold at the caution area. But look, it also hits the red line and comes right back down. That, if you ask me, is absolutely incorrect. That is not good. And so far, bad development as far as I'm concerned. I am now going to be worried about the secondary targets. Now, of course, you know how these markets are. Tomorrow, you could have a day up like this and nobody will care anymore. But until that day comes, we're following this one day at a time. You have just failed for the third time at this line. And in the caution zone, and are now below the 50-bar moving average. And we've got a red OMNI. So there's that, and then we come to this chart. The Russell 2000. Now look at the Russell. Perfect example. I mean, this is textbook. Talk about reason to be nimble. Look at how it just rallied right back to the top of that area and the meat of the drop and everything. Right to the top of the area, turned around and dumped. Reason to be nimble has turned into a bad development, especially if we end up below the 50-bar moving average by the end of today or tomorrow. So these charts jumped right out at me this morning after I seen the reversal. It started to, of course, we had a holiday. Holiday was over, market immediately turned, and I will say this about the holiday. Holiday fell, and this reversal fell right on what's called a blood moon, and we had a a lunar eclipse. So we had a blood moon, a lunar eclipse, and that tells me it was absolutely right on that day. So guess what? I'm changing my religion. I am now throwing out the OMNI on its ear, and I am going to subscribe to planetary alignments for my calls from now on. Because, look, they got one right, kids. They got one right here. The nuts got one right. So now they could call their Elliott Wave friends and go, look, even we got one right first. Look at this. We were right. So I'm going to join them now because they were right about this blood moon. Forget the OMNI, kids. From now on, I want to know where Venus is. If it's conjunct with another planet, we're going to trade, baby. What do you think of that? Anyway, back to reality. So listen, this doesn't look good right now. The development is ugly. Yes, we can turn around. But remember, the other part of this is we've been in an F flag. And if you know why I call these things an F flag, is that when you come out of an F flag, you generally get F'd. I mean, that's why I named it an F flag, no joke. So let me just make this blue, and we'll make it solid so that it looks like the other one. And this is basically an F flag. Let me just see if I can make it look a little prettier for you. Get this out of the way. And we've been in this F flag, and now that the F flag may get penetrated, generally you get F'd when you come out of an F flag. Another reason for caution, another reason to consider this a bad development, another reason why I wanted to show you this in a class today live and in a video on YouTube, which will be posted shortly. So that's what I wanted to present to you for the YouTube video. Traders in my chat room, sit tight. I'm going to end the YouTube video, and then we can continue our class. And you know I love to end these videos in one way and one way only, and that is this. Traders, keep your emotions out of trading. One of the best things you can do, in my opinion, to help keep those emotions at bay, and boy, I know it's not easy these days, but try this. Say this to yourselves every morning, every afternoon, every evening, And you know what that is. Stops are in. Emotions are out. Rock and roll traders, I will see you all at livewithoscar.com.